you so much for joining us for our last July 2020 Virtual Art Hop Spotlight Series. Today, we have a great and beautiful guest with us who has just a fabulous hat on today, I must say. Carrie McFerrin, we are so excited to have you. And we're so excited to dive into this conversation about your artistry here in Kalamazoo and beyond. And let's actually first kind of get to know you because this is what the Spotlight series is all about, right? Is getting to know our artists. So we'll start off with, Carrie, how long have you been in Kalamazoo?
I moved here, I relocated from Atlanta, Georgia about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I was, very active in the music scene there, mostly as like backup vocals, backup acoustic guitar for people. But it's been a great 10 years here so far.
That's awesome. Wow. Okay. So 10 years here in the zoo. And then how long have you been connected to or involved in Art Hop?
It was a gradual thing. I remember I got asked to start playing at Webster's Prime, just solo playing. And then eventually I kind of put together that more people were out and about on First Fridays. So I started asking if I could play on those days, and then it turned into an every Friday situation.
Yeah.
And then you guys caught on that was going on. So probably 6 or 7 years.
Wow. That's so you've been in Kalamazoo for 10 years, and then in those 6 and 7 years, you've been involved and connected with Art Hop.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And not only you though, but you've also kind of brought some other musicians into the fold of things. So how has that been connecting with musicians who are here in Kalamazoo and also outside of Kalamazoo?
Oh, it's been a wonderful networking opportunity, which is important when you are a musician, to be able to book shows, get on other lineups and things like that. But having a series that I've been hosting and running, I get to go handpick people. So if I go out and see a great show, I try to connect with that person, see if they'd be interested in doing something more scaled down, solo. So it's been great getting to know a lot of the local musicians, but also has made me have to reach out to more regional acts that I might not be as familiar with but admire, to invite them to the series. So it's been wonderful for networking.
That's awesome. And I'm sure it's been wonderful for those artists too as well, to be able to, number one, have a platform to be seen. And I mean, who knows, have you worked with someone who was on the outside before that never had been to Kalamazoo before?
Gosh, I'm not sure really if anyone had never been here before. But I want to say the furthest person that we've brought in, maybe from Detroit. So we try to keep it, regional.
Yeah.
That's a good question though. I'm really not sure if it's anyone that's not been here before.
Well, it's so funny because, like when you live here, and I've lived here for like off and on, I'm a Western alum, but people, when they hear Kalamazoo, they're like, is that a place? Like, is that actually, like, yeah, there's actually a song about it too as well. So so that's really great though, that you are able to pull those artists from all those spaces. And how rewarding that is to be able to collaborate. And we talked a little bit before our interview too as well, so I could get to know you more, and how you just said how collaborating with those artists, there's so many artistic, creative, just fluid juices that are happening, that you get to share, and you get to here with us. So that's awesome. One thing that we want to make sure that we get to before we go into our next conversation is the instruments that you have in the room, okay? So I want to know, like, how many instruments do you play? Because you're just like multi-talented, and you actually have some today to show us. So can you kind of show us off?
I do. Well, I grew up in a very musical household. Instruments were abundant. My mother played piano. My father played guitar. They had me in fiddle lessons, flute lessons. I just sold my upright bass and my 5-string banjo, but I can turn and show you here on my wall. Oh, there's some goodies over there.
Nice.
I have a 6-string banjo, which plays like a guitar but sounds like a banjo. I've got my Pride and Joy guitar in the center that my dad gave to me a few years back. And then I've got a ukulele, because what person doesn't need a ukulele for some quick jamming?
Right.
So those are my things I keep out because I like to grab them if I'm feeling inspired. And then this is my one of my newer acquisitions. It's a vintage Yamaha. It's the only guitar that I've purchased without playing first. I bought it online. And it's their Gibson Lawsuit guitar because it looks just like the Gibson Hummingbird. And it's got, I don't know if you can see, it's got a really lovely red label in there.
Oh yes, inside.
Yeah, and that's what you're looking for when you're buying these vintage Yamahas. You want it to be that Japanese factory with that red label from that time period. So I'm really happy with it. This is the one I've been playing most of my shows with lately.
Awesome, awesome. And I see that you have like this like flower. Is that your, what is that called? I'm sorry. I had lessons for like 5 days, and but is that like an accessory or is that actually your tuner?
It's actually a hair accessory, but I usually have roses on my instruments when I'm performing. It's just kind of my thing. I try to put a rosette on the headstock.
Yeah, and I see that you have a design too that is very floral on the actual guitar itself.
Yeah, it's super, super pretty and looks just like the Gibson Hummingbird.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, to be honest, like, which instrument do you just like love playing the most? And then which one is the most challenging to play?
Oh my goodness, that's a hard one because they're all so different. I've got more guitars behind me that I don't even have out. I think I've got 4 or 5, and that's how it is when you have that many. They all have different personalities. They all have different feels. They all meet different needs and demands. So I might have a specific song that a guitar sounds better on or rings through better in a certain spot. But right now I'm really loving this Yamaha. I would say she's winning right now. And it really has to do with how my style has evolved too. Over the years, I'm doing a bit more in the country vein, and it's just a really nice, big, deep sounding guitar that's great for those big, like, country strumming sounds.
Which is awesome. You know, I know that's what we love to hear too. So thank you so much, Carrie. Thank you. I'm so excited to continue our conversation. Up next, we're going to talk to you a little bit more about some of your style in terms of musically, and some other people that you might have collaborated with in the past, and also too coming in the present. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone. Please make sure you stay tuned for our next conversation.